Alright, alright. You with me?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Need any food?
Yeah, but the food court's not open at the minute.
Why not? Like
I've
nobody's
already...
there?
Yeah.
I am I work at a stall. Stop by there real quick.
I did used to work at a store, but I got fired for inactivity, and I don't blame them. So...
Yeah, that's fair. I always think I could make that turn going that high rates of speed, and I always do that. You think I learned by now?
Can't be good at everything.
Yeah. The problem is I'm not really good at anything. I'm just a jack of all trades. So.
If everybody was good at everything, then it would be a very boring place to live.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking beds. Well,
oh, that must have just opened. Oh, no, they're closing. That's hilarious.
We'll find her. We'll find her.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Doing good, how are you?
Good. How many combos did you need?
Can I get 4?
This is going bad, so I'm gonna give it to you for free.
Oh shit, thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Here you go, Peggy.
You have a good day.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay.
I got it. I'll give it to you outside. I don't feel like being taken hostage.
Oh, if you tell them that you're
Yeah, I do. They still take me hostage.
Ooh, that might have changed because I told them I was deputy mayor and they fucked around and found out and the PD sent everything they had. So
Oh, really?
yeah, they're not, the marshals even showed up. They're not playing around with it anymore.
I don't think they care about me though. I've been like, I always get taken hostage. I think it's for you. I think it's for you deputy mayors, honestly.
I think I'm okay with it. Like, but if I'm on my way to a meeting, I'm like, ooh, you know, like I'm kind of like, ugh,
Yeah.
you know, I've got things I need to do, fella. Like.
Yeah.
Trying to throw me off a building.
That's my plan. You got a parachute, right?
Nope. Should pick the higher building.
No. I want you to try to live. So what's going on, Peggy?
What do you mean? In terms of what?
Just in general, like, you've been going through a lot lately, and I know that you're still doing everything you can to, you know, help everybody and their mother out, but, like, what's going on with you? What are you dealing with?
Right now I'm just trying to decorate my house. Like, that's mine. What's going on with me? I'm not got anything really happening right now. Like,
Peggy, I consider you a friend, and, you know, feel like I can almost tell you anything. And the reason I brought you up here today is because I know that, you know, everything's been getting really, really hectic. And now he's talking about running for another term. And I know we've all been checked out for a while, but I know we can get, you know, back in the mindset if we really wanted to. But that's what I'm here to talk to you about. It's, you know, it's between me and you. And after the other day, you know what I mean? Like, I feel bad because me considering you a friend, I don't realize sometimes that, like, I'm not the best friend when it comes to realizing what people are saying and whatnot. But I picked up on what you told me the other day when you was laying on the ground, and, you know, I'm worried about you because you've been doing this for a long time, and we've had conversations about you wanting to do other shit. But then you also brought up that the other shit you were trying just hasn't worked. So, you know,
yeah.
I'm here checking in on you. There's no pressure for you to
I
need to tell
really,
me
really,
something.
really, really, really didn't want him to run again. Because in some ways, I think Rue is right that he's kind of. It's not that he's not around; it's that he's kind of checked out. Like, he's. I feel sometimes lost the motivation for it, or at least the very. I know I fucked up, and I'm not great at taking accountability. I've been told that over and over as friends and, you know, avenues dropped me is I don't take things seriously. I'm not good at communicating it, but I selfishly did not want him to run for another term.
That's understandable because you do so much. But what I'm here to tell you is, like, we all consider you a friend at the end of the day, and we all have each other's back. So if you can't continue or don't want to continue, there's no problem with that. Like, I know you could continue, but if your heart isn't in it anymore, you've given enough to the city, Peggy. I just wanted to let you know that, like, you've gone above and beyond what any human should have to do. But me and you look at it from a different perspective. Like, if we don't do it, who's going to do it? And I may be wrong, but I feel like sometimes we put ourselves on the back burner for a lot of things, and it gets frustrating until it just builds up until the point where it's like, we don't give a fuck no more. And I could be wrong, but, you know, out of everybody. Go ahead.
Give a fuck. It's the. I don't think Denzel does. Like, he gives a fuck that he doesn't want to lose now, but I don't think he does. I text him things, and it's very clear he hasn't read them. And then that's where my general frustration is that I get accused of not communicating things, but it's like he doesn't read it. You know, like, I could put a meeting in the calendar, and he doesn't read it. We shouldn't have to babysit the mayor, you know?
No, I get that. And at the end of the day, he holds the ultimate authority to do everything, but he's also empowered us to do things. So, you know, obviously you and Autumn can do a lot more than I can do. Even though, you know, he put me on as the deputy mayor, because the thing with him is he's different and he doesn't function like the rest of us do for the majority of it. And that's why he puts people around him who can do those things. And it's basically getting him to understand that, because he, like, let's just say reading is not his forte, okay? You can put that in front of him, and well, if he has to deep dive it, like, he'll eventually try to have it make sense to him. But unless you fully explain something to him in person, or you're speaking to him on the phone and going over something, it just doesn't work for him. And I know I'm making an excuse for him, but that's the person that we signed up with. I mean, he hasn't changed since his first interim term. It's been the same way. And to be honest with you, during that term, I had so many things that I wanted to do, but it was like, hey, talk to those guys up north. Do this, do that. We have to wait because now I'm running again. You know, let's just wait. And I just let it build up until one day I pulled him aside and I said, bruh, you're literally walking over me. And he explained it to me in a way that it only happens if you confront him like that he's not walking over me. My way of thinking and my way of going about things is totally different from him, and he relies on me to do what's right. That's why when I go into a meeting with all of you guys and you just bring up something, and I was telling this to Autumn and I told it to Denzel before, I said, I don't instantly like I listen to everything you say, but then the legality of everything starts popping in my head. I start thinking about legislation, or if it's if the constitutionality is correct, or like my lawyer brain goes, are we going to be fucked? Like instantly, it doesn't matter what it is. So a lot of the time for me, Peggy, I get sidetracked that way, and it takes 2 or 3 times for me to hear it from somebody if I hadn't been presented to it beforehand. And, you know, I get confused. We have all these fucking avenues in our email, and honestly, we don't utilize them. And then I get confused because I'll be thinking that it's a meeting here, and my brain just skimmed over something and I didn't read it fully about what it was about. So, I mean, I am also at fault for doing that most times. But the other thing is trying to do what I have to do, and then wanting to be involved in more. I know my limitations on what I can and can't do, but I still feel like our communication as a whole, me, you, and Autumn, just hasn't been there fully, because we all work on our things and then we want to bring them up, or we briefly talk about them, but we don't lean on each other as we could. And I know for me, it builds up over time, because you were the only person to actually, you know, read something I sent you and get back to me. And I told Autumn, I said, you take on so much, and then certain things slip you, but you also make commitments like, oh yeah, I'm burnt right now, but I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow you completely forget about what you were supposed to do. Where I think me and you bolster down, and we also make sure we follow through on our promises. Like, to this day, you still make sure that you're around for events and make sure that goes through. You know what I mean? If you weren't here, we don't have that person to do that. And it's not that I couldn't do it, but I wouldn't want to do that because that's not my forte. You know what I mean? And it might not even be your forte, but at the end of the day, you're good at it. And you can see through people's bullshit. I think why I wanted to really have this conversation with you is to let you know that you're not alone, and that at the same time, well, I think we're all checked out. Like, if you're really that checked out, I would not fault you if you didn't want to go again.
I don't know. I enjoy my job. I'm good at my job. But I don't know. And if I'm not good at my job, then, you know, it is playing on me slightly that he did promote Autumn in the end after telling me that he wasn't going to. Like,
See,
am I not good at it anymore?
it's not that you're not good at it. It's not that he's looking to replace you. I'm looking at it like this. I've told him this. I said, when you promoted Autumn to deputy mayor, it makes sense to me. This conversation I'm trying to have with you, Denzel, isn't about me wanting anything from you. I need you to understand, and this is, I'm telling you word for word what I told him. I said, you gave me a chance after I didn't have that opportunity. And the thing is, you've empowered me to do so much, and you do that with everybody. Like, literally, if somebody came from another shift 2, shift 3, anybody, and they said they wanted to be on the cabinet and they'd be able to be around for, you know, a meeting once a week, but be able to update, he would put them on. He would give them that opportunity. But the problem is, we're also not very transparent with what we do. And we've done a lot. And I think instead of hiding everything that we've done, we need to be more transparent. And when certain things are done, because he did have JJ, maybe that was the issue and he got used to it, but as a mayor, it shouldn't be like that. And I'm starting to see that. Because the more people I talk to, I get them to understand how much work that we put in, but they still don't know any of the things that we've done, or know that, like, if people are around, we'll get back to them. And they're fed up because it's like, well, things are going on. Like, why were we never told about tax increase? Well, we all know why we were. That should have been a state announcement. This is what I tried to get Autumn to understand, is like, for the business legislation, those people technically still should have been paying taxes on the 1st and 15th of every month when they were getting cash. They should have been doing that. Most businesses don't. And for her to want to just take that out, so, like, completely blows my mind, because she goes, that's just more work for that I'll have to do, or that Peggy has to do. But I tried to explain to her, that is the job that we signed up for. We need to find a way to make it easier for us to be able to go through something like that. Or we find more people that want to do something like this. You know, we've never done a job fair. for the mayor's thing, we can have assistance. We can have people that actually want to help us if there are people out there like that. Now, I know it's very slim. I've tried for months upon... Hold on. I've tried for months upon months with my lawyer shit. Nobody wants to do that. But something like this where, you know, we find another Finley or we find another Helios, they're hard to come by, but there are people that want to do different areas like that. And once we explain to them what we're looking for or what they need to do, because that's the major thing. I've been on 3 cabinets, you've been on 3 or 2. Regardless, when you get your position, unless you're like, hey, this is what you're going to do, you don't really get a role when you're brought on. You know what I mean? Even Raccoon, he only wanted to talk to Denzel because Denzel was like, I'll help you out. But when he wanted to know what he could do or what he could learn, he's talking to the wrong person, because at the end of the day, Denzel really doesn't do anything besides communicate when he needs to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And listen, I was on Rozelle's cabinet where he literally did everything, legislation-wise, freaking handing out money when he needed to, but he also gave certain people who he trusted the power to do what the hell they wanted. And at that time, it was like a lawless land. Everybody's getting money and danger. You know, while I wasn't in his cabinet, he basically just gave everybody the shit that he had promised them, and then ran out of time, basically. You know what I mean? Well, you was the backbone. So I get that you could feel completely just done. It makes sense. And there's no thank you we're ever going to get, besides every once in a while when Denzel really understands he needs to show some appreciation. But it's far from happening all the time. So
I mean, I've got nothing else I could be doing right now, so.
yeah, but that's the thing, okay? Don't use it as just a placeholder, because honestly, you're really good at what you do, but you don't have to do as much. And that's the thing. You're actually gonna, oh God, I did it. I'm so sorry.
It's alright. No smoke.
My apologies. Don't, back to what I was saying. Don't look at it as just a placeholder right now, because you're far too good at what you do, but you have every right to feel like, if you need to take it, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll
All right.
pull them back in a bit.
So mainly what I'm getting at is, you have every right to feel some type of way about him appointing Autumn, but I'm looking at it like this. He had JJ, who was a gang leader. was an asset to something we're not going to name. And when it got too hot for him, he got out. Maybe it was for Denzel's safety, our safety, whatever. Maybe it was because he just didn't want to do this shit no more. But Autumn finally wanting to do this and trying to take the initiative, because the thing was, I hung out with her every day during the first term, and I really got to know who she was. And she would just complain about she had nothing to do. She wasn't doing this. She never gets asked to do anything. I tried to explain to her over and over again from the terms that I've done with mayors. Most of them, they'll give you the opportunity, but they want you to flourish in what you're good at, or find something that can tide you over so that it's not, hey, I'm waiting for this guy all the time. When it comes down to it, we wait on him for the authority and approval. But the main thing is, when he's not around, you or JJ were acting mayor at the time. Well, you might not feel like you had that power. At the end of the day, if somebody had to come to you and you're around, you're the next person up. And it doesn't feel like that because of the city that we live in, but that's how it is. And the problem is, everybody paints a stigmatism on so many people that, you know, they're corrupt or they're doing this, whether they are or not.
Oh no, I'm definitely a drug dealer. I've had to stop for a bit because the marshals might be investigating me.
That's what I'm getting at too, Peggy. Like, anything that we do now, because it's just us, is going to get spun on Denzel to where he's not going to be able to be in the position he is. And at the end of the day, I think he's one of the more reasonable people that, if you actually talk to him, when you get to talk to him and actually get him to pay attention, he listens, he takes it, and he'll run with it. But I tried to tell Autumn this. I said, like, well, I know you and Peggy like to dabble in certain things. It's like, once you're a deputy mayor and the way it is now, like, they want him out because we haven't done anything wrong. So they're looking for different ways to just be able to get him out. We're all just placeholders for the marshals or the wrong PD or deputy to screw us to get to him. So if we're not fully on board, or we're just done, then it's probably best we just walk away. But I know that you are damn good at your job, and a lot of times you feel like you're getting overlooked, or like you do all the work and then get none of the notoriety. But the people know you because you're around and they see you and they know shit happens. So when you think that, you're just getting walked on or you don't get paid attention to, no, there's people that do care. And I'm definitely one of those people. So that's why I wanted to have a one-on-one with you and just see where your actual head's at, because, like, I know you're going through a lot. And going back to the Autumn thing, she just, she never felt like she had a place in the cabinet. Even I'd tell her daily she did. She was helping more people out than she knew. She gives her opinion when it's needed, or, just cuts the shit. And when you're not around, it's another ear that'll actually listen and help people. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have helped me so much. So I don't think you should, and you can feel, so you can still feel however you want. But I know him placing her as a deputy mayor wasn't because you're not good at your job or he's looking to replace you. It wasn't none of that shit. It was because he finally has somebody else that he can rely on when he's not here or when somebody needs an answer. Like, you girls do that. You ladies, you women do that. But my whole thing is, I know how these fucks work, and they're gonna try to crumble us from the inside if we're all feeling some type of way about whether it's we feel like we're overworked, we don't get listened to when we need to, you know. We have to think about what we signed up for and who we signed up for. Well, I'd say that sometimes it does feel like his passion isn't there. I believe it really is still there, and he was just looking for a reason to want to run again, because it's not the fact that Rue is running now. It's the fact that she's talking shit about how we've done nothing. And it's the simple fact that Autumn had a conversation with Rohan, and Rohan is in cahoots with Rue completely. And instead of taking the opportunity to be the Shift 3 liaison and be on the cabinet and learn and take his experiences to Rue's, he just went back and talked shit to her probably and didn't even follow up on anything that he told Autumn he was going to do. He said, oh yeah, I don't think I could be one, but I will check with Autumn. And then when we're in the car the other day, oh no, I can't do it. Well, why can't you do it? Did you talk to, oh no, I didn't talk to her. It was basically trying to just get tea from us, basically is how I took it, and then feeding it back to a person so that they could use that as ammunition for us.
Obviously, I had my chat with Rue the night before. I texted her asking, see, the other bit that got me is why can't I be open and honest with people that are looking to try and run? Like, because he got a little bit up about that. And it's like, well, I had a really honest conversation with Rue. It's not all sunshines and rainbows, you know? Like, I would hate for somebody to come into the office and then realize that and then not be cut out for it, you know? Like,
I think that you were fine to do that. The problem that is happening now is they're using that and spinning a narrative, because even my girlfriend asked me yesterday, which I have a whole nother thing I want to bring up to y'all, but she even said, so why is your cabinet not on the same page? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's literally 4 of us. And I had to go into detail about a whole other subject that literally blows my mind, that people are painting us as Kyle Pred advocates, and that, you know, we actually don't give a fuck about anybody in this city, when I know that we give more about this city than people will ever realize. Especially because it's a thankless job. Like, literally, it is a thankless job.
you know, it's gonna get worse, right?
As in what? What's going to get worse?
You want to know the honest reason why I haven't run any events this time?
Why is that?
Because I was told at the end of the last term that the faces were planning to drain the state accounts.
See, I've been told that we're losing money constantly. So us losing money constantly and having to raise taxes is one of the main reasons, but I mean, I'm not
The
stupid.
archivist is currently working on hacking the banks and stuff.
Oh.
So they're working in cahoots, and I guess that would be the final goal.
Well, you know, if we aren't in office, or if we are in office, it gets spun that we're the ones that drain the account regardless. And that's the narrative that they're spinning right now. Because whoever has been talking or going about things have told each other that, oh, the mayor's just raising taxes and we don't know why he's raising taxes. And they're saying that he's losing all this money and he's not sustaining. But I had to clarify with them, from what I know, that taxes were raised, yes, but the systems have also changed on how we get paid. And then to top that off, when we run these events, we don't make the money back. So from him having to adjust taxes, which he can do respectably because of the Business Act, because that's the other thing. A lot of the words that people deem might be dumb or stupid, like the fact that it says he can raise taxes more than 10% on businesses due to industry or the other word I can't remember right now, it makes us not liable having to raise the taxes. Now, my thing is, if he has to raise the taxes, one of you deputy mayors, when he's not around, should have, you weren't able to until just recently, but he has to raise the taxes. He puts a public announcement out right then. Next shift comes around, another state announcement comes out, because then people start understanding why taxes are going up,
Or put
why
it in the
things
fucking
need to be done.
newspaper, man.
Or do that. But at the same time, the narratives that the newspaper were running in the beginning was that he was trying to cover up the corruption with the previous people, which made no sense to me because he was all aboard to take them down and had Bailey working on it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't be involved because I was asked to be Quentin's lawyer, and the information that I knew, I could not, you know, I couldn't go against client confidentiality. So that's why I stayed out of a bunch of different things. But I mean, people are always going to spin a narrative. This conversation is literally, I'm trying to understand where you're at, because I know you got a lot going on, and then on top of it, you said that, you know, your husband, which honestly we all thought was just a joke because you were talking about wanting to murder him, Peggy, and then finding out that, you know, he has more serious issues going on than anybody knew. That's why I feel bad, because I consider you a really good friend who I could just tell anything or tell you anything about anybody or anything to, but I just overlooked it, and I didn't, like, you know, going, why are you joking around about, you know, killing them all for this or that? You know what I mean? And it took me realizing that I was living in my own bubble of my own frustrations and my own shit. They're like, I don't want to be that type of person, because I'm not. I've changed how I used to be. And I slowly started getting back into my old ways, because once you don't have people, it's a dog eat dog world. You got to survive in this world alone. And right now, we don't have to do that because there's 4 of us that can hold it down right now. It might not always seem like it, but I know at the end of the day, we could all rely on each other if we needed that. And I think the main issue is, I think the main issue is, Peggy, that nobody says it enough or makes it known how tight we actually are. Because I know I'd do anything for you. I know Autumn would do anything for you. And I believe that you do anything for us. And I do know that Denzel will go to extremities to make sure that we're taken care of as well. Even when we do fuck up. And I had to put him in his place, Peggy. I mean, he literally dicked me over with the vault shit because he had Bailey. I worked on all that shit. I asked for clarification, and then him and Bailey got in cahoots and they started working on it. And then the other legislation I was working on, taken from me, and now Bailey's gone, so he needs somebody, and he realizes, like, I've been here the whole time. And I explained to him, like, I don't have a problem doing the simple shit, which is mind-numbing and tracking people down or doing this and that, but you're adding something else to my plate that, you know, when I asked for it, you took it away from me without even having that conversation. That's what people, I don't think, realize when I was so pissed off in the room, like why I was so pissed off. It's because I kept everything to myself until I just couldn't take it no more. And like, I literally could have just shot Bailey and Denzel in the head and walked out and just been happy. Like, I was to that point where there was just no return mentally, because it's like I waste so much goddamn time on what? And that's why I'm having this conversation with you, because I know you do the same. And then we both have other problems that we're dealing with, and it doesn't make shit simpler. It only makes it harder. But there's a reason why we're still standing here, Peggy. Because they can't take us down. You're too smart. I'm too smart. But we overwork
Smart's a bit of a strong word.
What's that?
Smart's a little bit of a strong word.
You can't be smart and do the shit that you do and I do. Put on an appearance for everybody, and there's very few that knows what actually goes on. And nobody's going to know about it until something happens where our cooked brains cause us to not think, or our emotions take over. And at some point, it's like, if I'm not here tomorrow, who's actually going to give a fuck? I'm letting you know, Peggy. I'm going to give a fuck if you're not here tomorrow. And I mean that. We may not have been the closest and whatnot, but I literally look at you as a close friend. I want you to understand that.
Thank you.
Now, I know I said all that, and this is going to sound contradicting, or I'm trying to look out for myself, but I'm literally, what I'm about to tell you is that if you really wanted out, you could be out and you could help somebody else. But if you want out and then you try to take down everybody with you because you just can't stand Denzel anymore or anything like that, then it's affecting more than just Denzel. I know that sounds a bit contradictory. I don't even know the word, but I think you understand what I'm getting at, that there's a lot more to this than what just meets the eye. All the work that you put, all the work that I put, it goes unnoticed by everybody, but me and you know how much work we put into this and how much work we continue to do, even on the days that we don't want to do it. So that's why I'm saying, as a friend, I'm not going to put you in that situation. And I hope you wouldn't put me in that situation.
No, I wouldn't.
See, the other thing too, Peggy. Autumn, she gets upset because I literally get on Denzel's ass. I know that you're good at doing that yourself, but I would do the same thing for you if I hung out with you more or if I knew you more. And I'll still do that if I knew that you needed it. And I really think that you just need somebody else that understands everything you're going through to get Denzel to focus up or turn it around. Because I truly believe he does care. He's just, he was burnt out like we all were. But we all know that we do serve a good purpose. And the problem is, it's easy to go down the route of not having to deal with this shit anymore, get shitted on, get looked at by everybody as, oh, they're corrupt, even though they're not being corrupt. I've tried to explain, and I mean, I know you know this, like, selling drugs, dealing guns, whatever you do on the side, do what you do. But there was a point where Autumn, she was just going and cooking meth on a mountainside with like 10 fucking people. And this is right after she got her little thing that she caused herself. And then, you know, she didn't even want to fight it. And I happened to get blown up that day, so I couldn't even be her lawyer or cell rep because I took her to bench trial. But she was at a point where she had given up. And she worked through it. She stayed clean. She did what she was doing on the side still. And I know that you can continue to do what you want to do on the side. But at the end of the day, if it's something major and then it does tie back to Denzel, or, you know, anything gets misconstrued to the point where, you know, others are now thinking, or they find some type of shit that links him back to it, it affects everybody. And I don't think that Denzel wants to replace you. I think the main thing is, like, he wants us to do what we do, but when it comes down to it, we have to be open and transparent with him, and then also just know that there's some things we can't say. He hasn't asked me to talk to anybody. I went to him, I went to Autumn, and then yesterday I was supposed to go to sleep, but I got dragged into that shit with Violet, and I seen you. But that's why I texted you, because I heard that you were going to be one of the things, and I wanted to talk to you last night. But unfortunately, I had to think a lot last night, and couldn't do what I really wanted to do. So that's why today I hit you up, because this is something I want to do. I sit back, I'm quiet a lot of the times, but I'm observant. I see things others don't, and I put myself in other people's shoes, all right? And You could tell me you're perfectly fine. You could tell me everything's good. But it's not. Just like I'll tell you, everything's not good with me. I make it seem like it is. You guys could tell whenever it's really not good for me. But I get through it. Just like I know you'll get through it. But I want you to know that you're not alone. That's the main purpose of this conversation, Peggy. If you start feeling like you're all alone in this game, things could get misconstrued very easily, very quickly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is this the part where you're gonna push me off the building now?
No. This is the part where you get one of these.
Oh no.
There's going to come a choice. There's going to come a time where you have to make a choice. And if you choose to not be able to talk to me or tell me things, you're going to take that brace. You're going to take that. And you're going to tell me exactly why you're ending it. And then we'll go about our ways like we never knew each other if I survive. But until that day comes, which I hope it never comes, Peggy, you're linked to me forever now. And I want you to understand that that means more to me than a lot of people know. There's not even a handful of people that have ever received one of those. And it's only been used once, and I had to use it. So just know that if there's something that you feel like you can't tell anybody in this world, if you told me, it never leaves me. It never comes back to you, but you're not alone. You understand?
Yeah, you just given me another pirate curse.
Oh, Peggy, it's the motto that I live by.
Oh, and all my secrets are coming out in my collab song anyway.
It's fine.
Coke dealing, the secret names, the... It's been rather therapeutic to write it down, to be fair.
At the end of the day, Peggy, what purpose does exposing all that information do?
Makes a kick-ass song.
I believe it. But does it bring you down?
Probably, but I've already fucked around and found out with the faceless, so I might as well keep going on that streak.
I can understand that. But if it brings you down, even if you don't say a word, it brings others down that are around you. Maybe you really want those people to go down, but does it really serve your purpose of what you want other than a kick-ass song.
The only person going down would be me. So
Well, if you're going down, Peggy, I'm gonna let you know. You're a fighter. And if there's one thing that I know, you're never gonna just give up. There's no way that the Peggy I've grown to know gives up. Everybody gets tired and needs a reboot. But if you're on the verge of giving up, you gotta find a new purpose. And there's one stipulation with that Nightmare's Embrace that I gave you tonight. If you ever choose that you don't want me in your life anymore, it has to take place at the Falls in Blaine County. Otherwise, it does not work. You'll stab me for no reason. Just know that if you want to end it, there will be no consequences. I'm not going to show up and then you get murdered. It's solely between me and you. I only ask that you call EMS after you leave. You understand?
yeah, I understand. Does it work in reverse though?
Normally it would.
Then it needs to.
Then it shall.
If I ever told you if you pull my future tarot card, all you'll get is death. Repeatedly. Doesn't matter if you've already pulled the death card out of the pack, it will keep appearing.
You want to hear something funny? Everybody that's around me normally dies. I get left alone. I think there's a reason that you've grown on me over time. And when I say I feel like I can trust you with anything, I do. I literally blew myself up yesterday trying to get on my boat. Because I had to dump some things in the ocean, Peggy, that I've been holding on to for a very long time. But with the stakes getting higher and everybody looking into us now, I couldn't take the chance. The only thing that they'll find on me now is some Nexus chips, which I've never even looked at. So at the end of the day, it's just possession.
Should. It's got a fun loading screen if you choose. And there's a live chat. It's great.
It's fine. Me being where I'm at, being a lawyer, it's best that I'm not in there.
Oh, they took off the live chat. That was my favorite part to go and read.
Interesting.
Can I ask what you had to dump? Who did you murder?
Had to get rid of 2 guns and a
Oh.
knife.
Oh. I thought you were about to say like, oh, I'm a face assassin. I had to get rid of face assassin things.
I wish I could tell you that, but that was not it.
Damn. What? Okay. Statistically, there is 1 face assassin in every cabinet. I know JJ was ours. Do you think there still is another one?
Considering there's 4 of us now.
Who do you think Blaine County's asset is?
Probably Lexi. And to be honest with you, you're probably the closest thing to what the Faceless
True.
had.
True. Did have Charlie No Mate show up?
But it comes down to one thing, Autumn, or not Autumn. Comes down to one thing, Peggy. What do you do when they tell you to choose? You give up everything you worked for and worked on? Or do you stand up and take a chance, knowing that you'll probably wind up dead?
It's already happened to me once before.
And
I
because
got
it's
a whole speech. I got a whole ass speech about that. And like, oh, you must be keeping your smart, you must be capable of betrayal. I'm not here to tell you how to do it. You do it. So what? And you can't tell them that you've got to go and do it. Do I know what I did?
what'd you do?
I went and told them straight up. Asked the things I needed to know. Told them straight up. Were they pissed? Absolutely. I think they had more respect for me for actually just being like, no, like, I'm in danger. My own club dragged me there in handcuffs the first time. They did take the shotgun off me, which was probably a smart idea. But I have 2 really nice vintage corked bottles of wine from the Faceless cellar in my house currently. Actually, yeah, one's empty and I've put fairy lights in it, and the other one's still sealed. I'm saving that one. Wine always tastes nicer when it's not your own. And then I walked out alive, and that was the end of that. And then a couple of weeks back now, I was talking to somebody and they rolled up.
They're never going to stop coming back, Peggy. Because it's one thing that they want is power. And they want to be able to use people. And when he can't use you anymore, they'll find a way to dispose of you.
I'm aware. That's why I literally stood on business twice. I told them the first time I never wanted to see them again. And when I saw them again, I told them I meant that I never wanted to see them again. They actually hate me. Quoting actual assets words when they told me that, I was like, yeah, they better had, because I meant it.
So what's going on with the news people, Peggy?
They dropped me. So I used to write on the events column for them under an alias.
Mm-hmm.
And they essentially, so I started hanging out with them a little bit more. Kind of hurt is that I said once I come out of the cabinet, I do want to kind of join them full time.
Why did they drop you?
They told me I wasn't taking the paper seriously enough, and that they felt bad bringing a mayor's cabinet person round when some of these people don't have businesses licenses, and they're worried that it'll blow back on these people, even though I'm chill. And then there was an incident with a questions book. So it's just a combination of things. But yeah, they dropped me. I haven't spoken to them since. And now they call Autumn for anything they need, even though I'm still writing their legislation for them.
It's usually how it happens. What one person can't get from somebody, they go to another. And they'll continue going down that rabbit hole. What I don't get is, they literally signed up for the job that they do. There's always going to be a chance where they can get hurt. Do you think they put blame towards you about them getting hurt? Is there something you could have did that could have put them in jeopardy?
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay.
I've heard that before. You know, there's a lot of things in life we can and can't do. One of the main things we can always do is get back on the right track. Even if we're so fucked up, you don't ever see the light of day, still get on the right track. Doesn't matter what code we live by.
Don't think you answered this when I asked it the other day. If you could ask the faceless one question, what would you ask them?
Yeah, I didn't answer. You know why I didn't answer?
Why?
Because I don't think there's truly an answer to be had from any question I could come up with. I understand wanting power. Understand wanting to do things your way. I get Or they take what they can and use it to manipulate people. Understand all that. So when you understand things like that, what do you really want to ask somebody? What their favorite food is? Oh, it's just dumb.
Yes. Oh. I do want to know what their favorite food is.
What's your favorite food?
Don't have one.
Why would you want to know somebody else's favorite food then?
Because it's an interesting conversation.
When you get a response of, I don't have one. Setting yourself up for failure there, Peggy. You gotta think outside the box and ask them what was their favorite color of the crayons when they were growing up. Now that's an interesting question. You know why I like coming up here, Peggy?
It's very hard to find the bodies when you push them off.
Well, that's one reason. But another reason is because when you look out there, it's just endless ocean. And at the end of the day, there's more creatures that live out in the ocean than there are people. People fail to realize that those creatures have to eat too. We're not all fish. We're all not aquatic. But at the end of the day, we all find a way to survive. So you could go to any mountaintop or hillside and look at the pretty trees. But when you truly look out into the ocean, Peggy, you're left with nothing but wonder. And you being a pirate would know. The further you go out and you can't see any land, it's just you and the world. What could happen to you? What's gonna happen? Will I ever see land again? I was taken to Shumash Pier one time. Had bricks tied around my ankles. My hands were cuffed. I was dumped, left to die after being shot. There happened to be an old guy that found me. He watched them dump me in the water. Never told anybody. He was able to free me, bring me back to the beach. He was the first person that introduced me to the Nightmare's Embrace. Over time, we're to learn different things, find different ways. Just understand people without even having to talk to them. I could just listen and understand things. And eventually the old man had to die, Piggy. He couldn't live anymore. He didn't let the world take him out. He had enough. And because he saved my life, I did what he asked me. And to this day, I continue what he started. But he said, there's one thing that never stops. That's a waterfall. It lasts throughout time, unless man destroys it. And you know what man does, Peggy? Man winds up destroying everything that they create. Don't be the reason you destroy yourself. Be the reason that you destroy others, but do it with a purpose. We all have a past. We also all have a future. I hope you listen to everything I've said today. And it makes sense some way, somehow.
It has, actually.
Good. Let's get out of here. I wish we could ban the fucking sirens from cops in the city.
But it's a safety thing.
I know. It is just... It is just so goddamn awful when you're trying to relax and you gotta hear that shit. That's right. garage. Oh, you're on the second floor.
Oh, I don't mind running upstairs.
It's all good.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, Peggy. Call me, you need something.
Oh dear. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Chad, I think that was some good RP.
Do you happen to have an extra repair kit? Badass. I gotta tell him the hard truth. You're gonna spend $40,000 on ammunition a day. Yeah, that's what we do. We put him down. Put him down hard, too. We ain't got vest or tourniquets. I was in Nam. Yeah, you can't. I don't blink. I don't blink. I don't have time for that. If I blink, that's when they get me. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night screaming. Goddamn bloodbath. Nope. Only thing I ever did was harassment because I told someone to give me my gun back several times. I don't remember how I got there. I think it's because I told someone to keep running, stop running several times. They gave me harassment. Hey, we got an office in the back. Man, Miss Myers, you're more than welcome to sit in on the, you understand how things are for the security. Come on. I better make sure my Dinka's locked. Don't worry, we supply a company Dinka. Badass. Alright, so, people are gonna hate me. There's this guy, Junior. He hides.
Again? Oh my god, okay.
Yeah, I went through like 200.
I can help next person.
I'll go get the stuff.
Hi.
Okay.
Can I get 2 combos, please?
Of course.
Are you the rule enforcer?
Who, me? Hell no.
Oh. Who's the manager of here then? 'Cause there's someone that's put some rules out the front. Can't wear a mask in it apparently anymore. Oh, it's in the office.
Probably.
Damn, see, that's the type of energy we need you to bring. We encourage you to bring people here. Hey, get that mask off. Hey. Hey, get that fucking mask off. Get the mask off. Get that mask off. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, get that fucking mask off before I fucking lose it. All right, perfect. Now you're gonna have to wait in the lobby. We're conducting an interview. Have some goddamn decorum, you fucking gangbanger.
That shit's too funny.
Just make it without like all of the stuff in it. You know what I mean? Without the meat and the kimchi.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Because essentially like we're giving out 2 mains technically. Have a good
I
one.
appreciate it.
Wait, Pete, bro.
Oh, hey, Mick.
Have you seen there's a new manager, bro? Here.
What?
Follow me, you know?
Oh, hell yeah. How you doing, Shipment? Good to see you. Sorry I didn't read that right away. My chats have not been very active lately. But I've been doing some good RP, so trying to keep my VODs going. Hell yeah. No, listen, hey, anytime you show up is fine, you know? You don't even have to chat in here. I appreciate it. I try to respond as soon as I see something, you know what I mean? Obviously, when chat's more active, I pay more attention to it. It's just a habit I have. Because I don't want to, like, keep looking at chat and going, oh, nobody's in here. But at the same time, sometimes with the RP, like, I just got done talking to Peggy and it was serious and everything like that. Like, that was not a time that I was going to pay attention to chat, so. Fucking. My man Paul Sr., though, huh? I don't know if he was in his stream yesterday, but the man is disowning Paul Jr.? I love him. Makes so much good RP out of nothing. Oh no, it's great, you know what I mean? The fact that the fact that Paul Sr.'s like, everything I've done and given to you, and you just treat me you just treat me like this, and I'm like, what the hell is he actually talking about? And then I'm like, this could be good. I was still trying to figure out why he mentioned Peach and Maxwell, but it makes perfect sense because at the end of the day, Maxwell was with Paul Jr. when we went to the baseball field, and he was the host of that shit. So it's good. And then Paul spun it with Ruby yesterday and goes, did you see my dad disowned me and said I was a deadbeat son on Twitter? And the reason I told him, I said it was because I told her it's because he's talking to officers and he didn't, I'm not telling officers that he took me camping, but it was for protection. Oh, it was so good. I could RP with Pickle all day. On Hugh, on Paul Jr. Make something funny happen. Like, it's just good RP. Oh, I'm looking for any other bills or anything that'll stop from case law, marshals and correction officers. Looked at that. Yeah, I could only imagine. I mean, one definitely has to be Lucy. Okay, because anytime that something negative happens, he definitely was RPing with her ass. Because she is good at spicing things up too. And, yeah. It's just, it's good all around. I have to take a leak. Department of Corrections. What else? Powers. Excuse me. Statewide traffic ordinances. Light regulations. San Andreas Business Act. Need to put this. Sorry, chat. I have to pee. I have to pee. I know there's one in here missing. Chat. Yeah, I wish I was yapping. I'm just reading this shit and trying to figure out what I have to add to this shit. Yep, 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 yep.